I'm saying that every citizen of any country who loves his country, who loves her country, who wants to see the benefit of their country, who wants to help the poor in their country, who wants to help those struggling in their country, who wants to tackle homelessness, unemployment, and medical bills and the like, anybody who loves their country will vote for the one who puts their country first and not a foreign country first. That they will vote America first, not Israel first itself. It's not that I'm saying that they should vote on party lines. Whichever party candidate pushes the line that you should focus on the woes and ills of the city that you live in. Homelessness in LA. We didn't go to Beverly Hills. I should have shown you Beverly Hills itself. You'll see all these tents that are in these parking areas, and they're not hippies, they're homeless people. You could have the money to resolve it, but you're giving it to Zionists and the like who are insisting on Israel first. It's that anybody and any American citizen, regardless of their faith or religion, has the fitrah in their hearts of justice first, justice for all, for everybody, whether they are white, black, Muslim, Jewish, and which is why you're seeing that Jews in New York are voting for Mamdani because they see the message of justice that he is promoting with regards to America first itself. It's why you see Muslims fundraising for Marjorie Taylor Greene on the other side, saying that we believe she has the interest of America first, the interest of our locality and our area first, and also the interest of humanity in the sense of calling for a ceasefire in Gaza and saying we shouldn't support genocide. This is not an election on party lines. The midterm elections are not Democrats versus Republicans. The midterm elections will be Israel first versus America first, and it's in the interest of Muslim Americans that America first wins over Israel first. I think one of the things that is worth noting about America, having been here for a while and seen it, is that the Americans have always been amenable to listening to different ideas. They have a society where they have the freedom of speech and they're willing to entertain and debate and listen to new ideas. The problem was never that the Americans had a natural aversion to the Palestinian cause. It's that the Zionists spent so much money putting barriers between that voice and the Americans and imposing filters between the Palestinian voice and the Americans. Because what we realized with social media and the decentralization of information is that you put a girl called Samantha in Los Angeles and you put her in direct contact with somebody in Gaza through TikTok, where she sees the image directly. When Samantha sees it without filters, and when she sees it without the lobby imposing those filters, what happened to Samantha? Her opinion completely flipped. So she was never averse to the righteous cause of the Palestinians. She was never averse to the cause of justice. She was just not allowed to hear it by AIPAC and by the Zionists. She was never allowed to hear it by the Zionist allies. And whatever she heard of the Palestinians was the result of a 5 or 6 filters that information had passed through that eventually resulted to her over here. That's the extraordinary thing, because it reinforces the idea of fitrah, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or God, when he creates human beings, puts that natural affinity for justice in the people. When you think about it, what made American public opinion shift? No one brought an army and coerced them into changing their opinions. No one held a gun to Candace Owens' head or to Tucker Carlson's head to make them say the things that they're saying against Zionism now. No one put a head to Dave Smith's head, and told him he needs to, change his, ideas and policies or the like. I noticed some people use the video of mine in Kuala Lumpur almost to say to Dave Smith, your views are wrong and look how people like Sami are celebrating. My point is not that anyone forced Dave Smith. My point is, in that video, is that because we delivered the truth as it was, and because we showed what was happening, because we screamed about it, when Dave Smith saw it, his heart naturally inclined towards justice. When Candace Owens saw it, her heart naturally inclined towards justice. When Tucker Carlson saw it, their hearts naturally inclined towards justice. Ted Cruz can't say anything because of all of the AIPAC money that comes towards him. But these other souls that are free, literally, and debating the issues as they go along, you don't need to agree with everything they say. But that justice flipped it. That's the shift in public opinion. And as a result of the shift in public opinion, it's now being translated politically, where a candidate for Massachusetts comes out last week and says, I've returned every money that I've collected from AIPAC, and I've returned it, and I'm no longer taking any money from AIPAC. Not necessarily because he cares about the Palestinians. He's aware that Zionism is a political liability that might make him lose the election. A representative in North Carolina, I think a congresswoman, she came out and she said, I will not take any donations for AIPAC, indicating the shift in public opinion in North Carolina means that if I'm seen to be too close to the Israelis, I will lose. We've now seen that Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's coming out and saying that Israel has to register as a foreign agent, and Republicans in Congress, now watching her seat in the midterms to see if she keeps her seat. If she keeps her seat, they will say, wait a minute, you can survive even after defying Zionism. Then maybe we don't need to keep following this Zionist babysitter who follows us, as Thomas Massey stated in that Tucker Carlson interview. AIPAC appoints a babysitter for the Congress, Republican congressman, to ensure they vote Israel first instead of America first. We're seeing Mamdani now leading in the polls over Cuomo, and Cuomo being lambasted by his own supporters for talking too much about Israel, for talking too much about what's happening in Gaza, as opposed to Mamdani, who's talking about New York. And Mamdani's America First policy, I call it America First, where he talks about New York and the rents in New York, means that Marjorie Taylor Greene tweets today and says, why would anybody go and vote for Cuomo? She's not endorsing Mamdani. She says, why would you vote for Cuomo, who's not interested in New York, who's not focused on America First itself? That America's interest is not war. And this is true, by the way. America's interest in the region is not war. It's important to remember that the Muslim states don't have a problem with trading with the Americans. They don't have a problem with exchanging with the Americans. The only problem they have with the Americans is the military bases, the bombing, the slaughter, the killing, and the interference in regime changes and the like. Something that the right wing is now saying, we don't want to do that anymore. We don't want to do that as Americans. If that America First trend wins over Donald Trump, practically, that results in a healing of the relationship between the Americans and those Middle East states. It's Israel that loses while the whole region and the Americans gain. And that's why I think that the right wing has turned against the Israelis, because they've realized that if they pursue an America First policy, and this is not an endorsement from my side, an America First policy means let's just all work within our interests and let's all keep the peace and trade and the like, and we won't interfere with each other, which is what the Arab states want. Everybody gains except the Israelis. So the one who wants to ruin it for everybody is the Israelis. And there's a growing concern amongst those around Trump, amongst some of them, that Mr. President, the reality is you could make peace. The problem is not the Saudis or the Qataris or the Turks. The problem is actually the Israelis.
So Sami, are you saying that in Georgia, you would ask and you would request and you would suggest to Muslims that they should vote for Marjorie Taylor Greene?
It's not my place to tell the Americans how to vote at all. And I'm going to decline to answer whether they should vote for this person or this person. That's an issue for the Americans, and I respect the American right to choose who they decide to vote for or not. I think what I can say is that, according to the Zionists, the worst case scenario that can happen in the midterm elections is that Americans vote America first instead of Israel first. And by America first, I think what the Zionists are really concerned about is that America first is not just Republicans, it's also Democrats. You think about it, for example, Mamdani, according to the Zionists, is an America first candidate. Cuomo is an Israel first candidate, which is why the Zionist lobby and those who support the Zionists are supporting Cuomo against the America first candidate, who is Mamdani. The Zionists are concerned that whereby their lobby has been able to establish a situation whereby Biden can ignore people becoming bankrupt over medical bills and give 14 billion not to those struggling with medical bills but to Israel instead. The Zionists are worried that in the midterm elections, Americans might actually vote for candidates who will vote for America first, whereby 14 billion doesn't get given to the Israelis to commit genocide. It gets given to people to help them with relief on their medical bills to ensure they get healthcare treatment. What the Zionists are concerned about is that Marjorie Taylor Greene, who came out against the Zionists to say that we should focus on American homelessness, we should focus on American medical issues, we should focus on American housing and these issues, leading her to resonate with America First Mamdani, showing that it transcends party lines. It's not only Democrat and Republicans. The Zionists are concerned that Marjorie Taylor Greene's America First message will resonate far more deeply than the Israel First message that AIPAC are spreading with these AI videos when they're trying to assert why Israel is so valuable to the Americans. What the Zionists are concerned about is that when Trump sees that Marjorie Taylor Greene wins her seat because she asserts America first over Israel first, that Mamdani becomes mayor of New York because he asserted America first over Israel first, that Omar Fatah becomes mayor of Minnesota because he asserted America first over Israel first, that Abdurrahman al-Sayed in Michigan wins his seat in the Senate because he argues for America first instead of Israel first, even though he's a Democrat. What the Zionists are concerned that when Trump sees, or the president president sees that the common denominator is not Republican Democrat, the common denominator is America first, it will lead a president who puts his own interests first to pursue America first over Israel first. You remember when Donald Trump said about when he asked Miriam Adelson and said, do you love Israel more or America more? Yeah. And that was almost like a dig at Miriam Adelson, because he was saying publicly to the American people that when she gave me the money, I was wrestling with her. She was saying you have to be Israel first, and I was telling her you need to be America first, indicating there is a rift between Adelson and between Donald Trump. And he said that in the Knesset itself, almost like a subliminal message to the Israelis that, listen, you need to find a way to align Israel first with America first. It's not for me to comment on who people should vote for or not. That's as somebody who's not American, that's not for me to say. What I can say is that the midterm elections will not be about Republicans versus Democrats. It will be America first versus Israel first. The Israel first movement believes it's in an existential crisis. This is the first midterm elections where candidates might actually lose because they supported Israel over America. And that's why candidates are scrambling to distance themselves from Israel first. It's why that candidate from Massachusetts is returning AIPAC money. It's why the North Carolina representative is saying, I'm not going to take AIPAC money anymore. It's why you have people coming out openly and saying, I'm not the AIPAC candidate, vote for me. You have AIPAC Tracker now listing all of these candidates who are taking money from AIPAC. It's why Hakeem Jeffries, when he went on a left-wing podcast, she said, I, as a Democrat, I'm so disgusted that I don't understand why you can't support somebody like Mamdani or support the party base, and that you're tied up with regards to Israel first. The base wants a ceasefire, you insist on a genocide. And Hakeem Jeffries says it's more complicated. We can't just be a one-issue voter, indicating he's trapped between Israel first and America first. And Americans are revolting against Israel first. This America First movement is not a MAGA movement. It's a Republican and Democrat movement where the base, now that public opinion has shifted, are now saying, we're Americans, let's deal with our own issues first. We don't need to enter these wars for other countries that don't bring any benefit for us. The reality is everybody wants to live in peace, but foreign entities are lobbying us to do their fighting for them. And that's why I think in these midterm elections, it's not clear who will win, Israel first or America first. And that's why it depends whether Marjorie Taylor Greene, America first, wins, or the candidate AIPAC put against her, Israel first, wins. It's whether Mamdani, America first, wins, or Cuomo, Israel first, wins. That's the battle for the soul of America that is taking place. And the White House will be watching very carefully how those midterms take place, because Trump has yet to comment on Marjorie Taylor Greene and these other people's comments with regards to their America First, indicating Trump is watching to see who wins, Israel first or America first, before he acts accordingly.
Please remember to subscribe to our social media and YouTube channels, and head over to our website thinkingmuslim.com to sign up to my weekly newsletter. Jazakallah khair.